Hey, good to see you here, my friends. This is Lucas. Now, today I want to talk to you about something very interesting. As you already know, everybody globally has got to do with this virus called the coronavirus. Now, you might be thinking, hey, so is it a good idea to invest in this time, although it is Corona time? Now, I find it very interesting because today I want to show to you that even investing in a market like this where Corona is hitting the economy very hard, we can just keep on investing. Now, with an example today, I want to show you that using the dollar cost averaging method will show you that no matter what time we're in right now, that even then we can still make money. And I'll tell you this, even if the stock market is falling and plummeting all the way down, that just means we will be buying stocks very cheaply. Now, for this example today, for the dollar cost averaging method, I'm going to use a very simple example. Let's pretend. So the idea is very simple. We're going to invest $1,200. We're going to invest $1,200. That's just the idea because in this example, it's going to be easy. And let's pretend that with those $1,200, you're able to buy 120 shares, which makes it very easy, which one share is equal to $10. Okay, just for the idea. And let's pretend that the market starts at, you can buy, for $10, you can buy shares. But what happens is that the stock market drops. At some point, it grows again and it drops again, That's what we want to see. This is good. That's totally fine. But at some point, it grows as well. And sometimes it falls again. And of course, this is some point. And at some point, it is worth $12 per share. Now, with the original 100 shares that you have, if you would have bought at this point, you would have bought 120 shares, and each share would be $10. That would have been $1,200 that you would have started out with. That's the lump sum. You buy at one moment, you don't care how the market goes, and hopefully at some point you end up with more value of shares than, of course, than the moment you started out with. Now, if your shares is $12 per share right now, that's a very equal thing. Of course, you do that 120 shares that you have times 12 equals, I gotta calculate that, 12 times 120 is 1440, which is an increase of course, 20%. Which is very good, that's, if you would sell at this point, that would be a loss in your stocks, of course. Everybody knows that because you bought it for 10, you're going to sell it at, I don't know how much this is, but if you're going to sell at that point, yeah, it kind of makes sense that you just, you made a loss. And this is what happens very often, that the moment a virus or anything that strikes the economy, and in this case, it could be something like this. Corona strikes right now, and people are like, oh my goodness, I got to sell my stocks up because I don't want to lose too much. And this is the amount that I kind of want to lose. I don't want to lose any more, so I'll sell here. But if this happens over a certain time, you could also start, keep holding on to those stocks, because at some point it'll start growing again, and then you'll make your profit. That's the whole idea of buying lump sum. But now let's pretend that you're going to buy this same amount. You have your $1,200, but instead of spending it once, all of a sudden, and then sell it at some point, hopefully higher. Now let's pretend that you're going to invest $100 every time. Just wipe this one up for just a bit. So instead of spending $1,200 at once, you're going to spend 100 every time. Now, because this could be every month, of course. So you're going to spend $100 until you have, in the end, the last 12 times 100, right? This is the last time you get your $100. And let's pretend that this is the market. So 12 moments in the market share. So this is one moment, this is a moment, this is a moment. Now it could be that, this is like 3 moments, here's another one, and here is another one. So at this point, the market is, for example, the value of a stock is like 8. At this point, it's a 9. This point is another 8. The market value of one share is $7. Again, $8. This would be then $9. This would be $10. This is even one share is $11. Again, $10. And here it is $11 again. And if I'm correct, these are 12 points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So these are 12 points. So each moment you invested $100 to buy stocks. Now, how many stocks can you buy? Well, let me take a different color. Of course, if the market value is 10, with $10, you can, of course, buy 10 shares. So in this case, it's 10 shares. If the value is 8, you can buy 12.5 shares. If the moment the market is 9, you can buy, that is 11.11. Another 8 is 12.5. The moment when the value is 7, that would be 14.28. And of course, another 8 is 12.5. Another 9 is 11.11. A 10 is, of course, 10. The moment the market value is 11, with your original $100, you cannot buy 10, but 9.09. Another 10 is a 10. Another 11 is a 9.9. And the moment the value is 12, that's an 8.33. Now, what you need to do is you got to add up all these shares up together. So you got 11, 12.5, 11.11. That's what you want to add up, and that actually brings you to 130.51 share. So whereas you bought it at one time in the moment, you bought it for 120 shares. If you would have sold it here at 7, you would have made a loss, because you bought it for 10 and you're going to sell it for 7. That's what so many people tend to do. The moment the market starts to fall, people starts to panic, and if you start to panic, what do? You panic sell. That's what people tend to do. So instead of waiting it out, you're taking your loss and saying, like, you know what, my shares just dropped $3 a share. I've got 120 of those, and I don't want to count any more shares, because what happens if the counter goes to 0? Then you've lost everything. Well, I'll tell you that is never going to happen. And even if it's going to happen, I'll tell you that it's going to be cheap stocks and cheap shares. That's something what you want to have. But if you keep on buying consistently, what happens, as you can see, the red numbers show the amount of shares that you have bought throughout the time. And after 12 moments, this could be 12 years, it could be 12 months. Now, in our example, it doesn't really matter. What I want to show you is that buying every month systematically, which is called dollar cost averaging, if you do that, in the end, you'll end up with more shares. And you don't have to stress over things like Corona to crash into the economy, because in the end, in this example only, you've got more shares than the original. Now, 130 shares is, and if you still times that 12, because that's the actual worth of the amount, so 130 times 12 is 1556, which equals to 29% growth compared to the 20%. That's almost 50% more in this example where the market ends up positive. Now, I'll tell you this. If the market would have ended here, your 120 shares, even with your time, didn't do anything. Not even a 20% raise. But if you would have done the dollar cost averaging, no matter what you've done, you would always come out more than when you have bought it lump sum. And this is the reason why. And I'll tell you this. So this is the reason why buying systematically always gets you more than whenever you buy lump sum at one moment and in the hope that time will solve your problem. And I'll tell you this. Even in times of corona, even if times when the economy is falling and crashing, this actually means, this shows you that the moment the stock market is crashing, you buy your stocks and shares for a lot cheaper. And that's what you want. Because the moment, when are you selling? Not the moment when the market is crashing. You want to be selling when the market is high. Because if the stock market keeps on falling and falling and falling and falling and falling and falling, that means that prices are so cheap to buy some stocks, the moment the stock market goes up, that's your moment to sell. And that's your moment to cash out all the profit you've made with all the patience that you've had. This is the reason why, with the economy currently falling through coronavirus, this is the reason why you should start investing today. Invest today, not when the market is growing. The moment the market is growing, you're already too late because you've missed the boat of buying cheap stocks and shares. This is the moment where people think, ooh, you know what? I gotta buy now. Because if I buy now, maybe I can pick a little bit along the road like, ooh, you know, I just bought a stock for 8, I'm gonna sell at 9. Yeah, that's true. But we buy stocks when they're falling up till 0. The moment when the stocks and shares are the cheapest, that's the moment we're gonna buy and make a ton of money the moment afterwards. That's how wealthy people make their money. Now let me ask you one thing. If you're interested in learning this, knowing which stocks to buy, because I'm only talking about the system, not talking about which stocks you should buy. If you want to learn stuff like this, this is what I teach. This is how I become a master of buying stocks and knowing which shares to buy, which companies to hold. That's how I make my money today. If you're interested, hey, check out my website, lukasshoe.com. I'm teaching courses and cool videos like these, teaching you how to make money. If you like this video, of course, give me a thumbs up. Thank you very much for watching. If you think this video should be shared to my family and friends and colleagues, of course, share this video with them. And of course, if you like this video, hey, check out more stuff like this on lukasshoe.com on my website, and I'll see you around. I wish you best of luck, and hey, watch out for the next video that I'm talking about coronavirus and crashing economy to help us with our wallets and pockets. Of course, hey, I'm not only saying this for the wallets and pockets that we have and got to fill. Of course, all those people that have been struck with coronavirus, we are very sorry for those people that have got struck there. And of course, we live with you, and we wish you all the best with all the recovery that you need to be. Hey, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.